All right, it's Storyfest time.
Excellent.
I want to invite Imani, Dr. Cheers, and Amy Bergquist up to the stage. All right, lights up in the house, please. Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Amy,
It's good to see you.
President Granberg. Finalists, could you all rise? Stand up. Finalists, Storyfest finalists. All right. I want to say, going into this, that this has been wonderful and agonizing. Fortunately, those I'm done with those. These are the new ones. We had a wonderful group of people, and Imani, maybe you tell us a little bit about how the judges operated.
Oh, yes. Our panel of independent, keyword there, independent judges, professionals in science, communication, media, advocacy, and journalism were given a very, 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 very challenging task to pick from all these amazing stories and select a few winners. We sincerely want to thank our judges for volunteering their time and consideration of our finalists and for your kind words to all the students here today.
So Amy, President Granberg, everybody, the judges had four main criteria that they were looking at. Creativity and effectiveness of the chosen format for the storytelling techniques, excellence in written, verbal communication, and or technical skills. In other words, how they present the story. Is it well written? Is it well shot? How does it sound? Factual accuracy, that kind of matters. Factual accuracy, including attribution of facts, data, quotes, superior research that considered different perspectives, and finally, last thing, the overall potential impact of the idea that is being proposed or the story itself. So impact was part of that too. So do we have the envelopes? You have the envelopes.
I have them right.
Okay, now do you have envelopes?
I have all.
I think
You
we're
have all of
sharing.
them. So
We're sharing on
okay.
You like yours?
I'd love mine. Thank
Okay,
you.
so
have
we're going to
several.
start
You have
with.
several.
Well, we have first up.
Oh,
I'll say-
wait. No, don't do this. This is going to confuse things.
They had the numbers on them.
They have the numbers
yeah,
on them?
yeah.
Okay, see?
It's okay. It's going to be
okay.
fun.
We got it.
So our first category is.
Oh, we have the finalists for Best Written Story.
Okay, now let's come to the side so people can see the screen.
Finalists
These
for
are
Best Written Story.
These are finalists and the video.
In Norway, salmon is a prominent feature on the national menu, but warming waters are causing increasing threats from sea lice infections. In this story, Kunjal Bastola of Northwestern University explores the organizations researching new methods of lice control in the country. Sabrina Cunningham of Loyola University, Chicago, takes us on an immersive journey through the cranberry bogs of Massachusetts, where family-run farms are a way of life. But warming winters and a lack of rainfall are forcing farmers to adapt and throwing the future of their life's work into question. These seawalls are alive. On Massachusetts' rocky shoreline, a group of researchers are using nature-inspired solutions to combat sea level rise by working with water rather than against it. In this story by Maeve Lawler of Emerson College. Tainted lands on the way to rejuvenation. On the island of Vieques in Puerto Rico, see how residents are staying resilient and determined. In this story by Abby Liebert of SUNY ESF. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. asked citizens, "What are you doing for others?" Volunteers of the annual Anacostia River cleanup answered that question by turning environmental action into a fight for civil rights. In this story by Morgan Manuel of Howard University. For generations, indigenous communities have practiced controlled burns to manage the land. But facing worsening wildfires, Joshua Massey of Arizona State University explores how indigenous leaders are calling for collaboration to protect and preserve their land for future generations. Is hemp the future of textiles? Carly Moore of Stanford University discusses how her family is teaming up with a group of researchers at North Carolina State University to grow a product that's surprisingly resilient in the face of extreme weather conditions. Who you going to call if you find a snake in your backyard? The Python Hunters. In this story by the University of Tampa's Kylie Petrusek, a group of volunteers brave the brush in an effort to control South Florida's biggest ecological threat, the Burmese python. America's national parks should be open to everyone. In this story by Kayla Smirnoff of Howard University, we learn how organizations are charting new paths forward to engage communities of color in the national parks and the great outdoors. For some, coffee's more than just a morning pick-me-up. On her family farm under the Costa Rican sun, Maria Jose Vargas of Middlebury's Institute of International Studies interviews her dad, a coffee grower, about cultural heritage, preserving traditions, the environment, along with the coffee.
Huge shout out to our finalists and the envelope. Amy has the envelope. Go ahead.
And the winner of the Best Written Story is Kayla Smirnoff from Howard University.
Come on up.
Here she comes.
Kayla here? Oh, there she is.
The judges said this story explores the historical legacy of bias that deters people from visiting national park sites. It sets itself apart with the quality of writing, the depth of reporting, and the thorough research into the cultural differences that shape how Black Americans and other people of color view efforts to preserve the natural world. Congratulations. Here's your bag, and you can just come stand over here. Thank you so much. Did you want?
You can hang out with us if you'd like, and
Congratulations.
hang over here. We'll.
Did you want a photo now? No.
What they want?
Alex wants a photo later. She said later.
What? You're videoing?
Alex said
We're good?
later. Yeah, Alex said we're good.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. We'll get it here. Our next category is Best Podcast. Here's the video.
Heat does not burn equally in this podcast by the University of Navarra's Mario Castroviejo. In a conversation that bridges history, science, and social justice, hear how urban heat islands are highlighting systemic inequality in cities across the U.S. and what local governments can do to cool things down. Take a trip across the pond to visit Redcar, a seaside town in England once dominated by a booming steel industry. In this podcast, by Danny Nicholson of Teesside University, you explore the history and future of energy production in a town where public trust in hydrogen energy is a hard nut to crack.
5 hours north of London stands a seaside town where people once flooded for the picturesque views, the feeling of waves crashing against their feet and sand in between their toes.
Whose air do you breathe? In this podcast by Guinevere McLowry of the George Washington University, a health researcher clears the air on the disproportionate impact of pollution in communities across Washington, D.C., and how we can work together for clearer skies. Ever wonder what's in your water? Avril Silva of the George Washington University visits a school in Maryland with water so contaminated it was shut off entirely. In this podcast, students react and experts weigh in on the solutions to this local, regional, and national epidemic.
People didn't really they either didn't seem to care or they didn't know that there was a larger issue at play, and there really is. So I think it's something people should be aware of.
Wondering about whales? This podcast by Emily Valenti of the SUNY College of Environmental Science and Forestry takes a deep dive into the taxonomy and definition of orca whales as a species.
All right, we'll come back to the middle. And President Granberg, the winner is?
The winner is Avril Silva from the George Washington University.
So the judges said Avril Silva's podcast powerfully uses the medium to tell the urgent story of PFAS contamination in Frederick, Maryland. She crafts a logical and engaging narrative that is both memorable and thought-provoking. The podcast demonstrates strong original journalism, clearly defining the problem and its impact on the community and highlighting potential solutions. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
And now we have the finalists for Best Social Media Video.
Got a sweet tooth? In this vertical video, Mario Castroviejo of the University of Navarra explains how climate change is affecting one of our favorite treats, chocolate. Discover how rising temperatures and extreme weather are increasing prices and threatening our candy. Denmark is one of the best recycling nations in the world. Is it time to take notes? Gunjal Bastola of Northwestern University takes us to Copenhagen to learn more about the extensive waste management system that makes the country a leader in recycling.
Some of the categories include residual waste, plastics, and food waste.
Welcome to Indonesia, a country rife with biodiversity and natural resources, and a capital city that's sinking. Devin Santikarma of Middlebury College visits a community where Catholic organizers are working diligently toward climate action after a visit from the Pope. Angel Stickman of the University of Oklahoma College of Law takes us to Alaska, where salmon fishing has been central to livelihoods of native villages for thousands of years. But a lack of fishing restrictions and declining numbers has led to a salmon crisis among these communities.
In the net, caught in the net. The bycatch are then thrown back into the water as waste. Trawlers bycaught more than 300,000 chum salmon each year.
University of Guam student Farron Tyron gets all fired up as he takes us behind the scenes of fighting fires on Guam and explores the island's response to a warming climate. Excuse me.
I have number 3.
No, he's. Excuse us.
We don't want to have that Oscar moment.
That Oscar moment, yeah.
Right? We're going to have to do that one.
Best short video.
What did you
No,
just
this
roll?
one. It's just out of order.
You just rolled social media.
You did
So you're
social
doing
media.
social media.
All right. We're
that
going to
one.
solve this problem.
Done.
Boom.
Problem solved.
Okay.
And the winner of the best social video is awarded to Mario Castroviejo from University of Navarra for how climate change impacts one of our favorite sweets, chocolate.
That's social media video. Right. I can read. Amazing.
Okay,
Yes.
next category here.
And sorry, Mario is not here
Oh,
joining
Mario's
us.
not here.
Right. He's not
University of
here.
Navarra is in Spain.
Yes.
I informed him. He was thrilled. He didn't know what to say. Beyond thank you. So
Yeah.
thank you.
And next up.
Okay, next up is
Here
our
we go.
best multimedia story.
Okay, I was like,
And the video, please.
I got very nervous.
Crack open the mysteries of warming waters in the Gulf of Maine in this multimedia story by George Washington University's Paul Leone, and discover how lobsters are at the center of climate change, biodiversity, the economy, and your plate. The island of Vieques in Puerto Rico has a unique story to tell. A series of poems by Brianna El Kahir of the SUNY College of Environmental Science and Forestry show us the island through her eyes. On a trip down under, Sophie Holtzman of the George Washington University visits Narrabri, where the Native Grains team is working with Aboriginal residents to revitalize traditional practices. Life finds a way thanks to a clever team of scientists working tirelessly to restore an ancient-looking fish to New York waterways. In this story by Elise Ruby of the SUNY College of Environmental Science and Forestry. In the rice fields of Bali, Indonesia, an ancient water irrigation system embodies spiritual harmony with nature. Devin Santikarma of Middlebury College captures a meditation on this quickly disappearing cultural heritage site and paints a portrait of the community keeping it alive. What does it look like when children grow up in ashtrays? Art and poetry are inspired by the legacy of environmental racism and a community's determination to overcome it, in this story by Micah Scott of Tuskegee University. Across the Penghu Archipelago in Taiwan, 3 ocean currents converge to create a blossoming of marine biodiversity. Jeff Tsai of the University of Richmond immerses us in the underwater ecosystem and the organisms it supports as a group of volunteers work to restore the coral reefs. Can the climate affect the way we act? Back on Puerto Rico's Vieques Island, Daniel Vera of SUNY ESF reflects on how cultural norms interact with environmental conservation, balancing ecological efforts and community.
President Granberg, the envelope.
And the winner is Devin Santacama from Middlebury College.
The judges said, Water Gods captivated us with its powerful blend of personal narrative, strong journalism, and evocative photography, demonstrating the author's deep emotional connection to the story and utilizing compelling storytelling techniques to foster empathy and understanding. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And last but not least, in the judged categories, our finalists for Best Short Video.
The fight for environmental justice is a fight for racial justice. In this poetic short film, Theo Daniels of Georgetown University uses montage and meditation to take viewers on a journey to overcome racial and environmental divides. Could catnip double as an insect repellent? In this video by Orr Doney and Emily Schneider of Rutgers University, a team of scientists studies the potential of the catnip plant to prevent the spread of disease. For generations, the Miccosukee tribe has called the Big Cypress National Preserve in South Florida home. In this video, Des Lewis of Florida State University explores how the 2022 wilderness designation proposal would impact their lives, neighborhoods, and spiritual places. The purple urchins are taking over. Eva Kotobuki Sideris of California Polytechnic University takes us underwater to discover the threat of the purple sea urchin and the innovative solutions being explored to restore the kelp forests on California's north coast. You've heard of swimming with dolphins, but what about snakes? In an effort to improve the management of Guam's invasive species, Farron Tyron of the University of Guam gets up close and personal with the brown tree snake as he explores their swimming capabilities.
Oh, it totally wrapped around my eyes.
Out of cement grows hope. To see how vacant land is being transformed across Los Angeles, Arian Tomar of the University of Southern California takes us to the San Fernando Valley, where the founders of urban farms discuss the power of community that growing healthy foods can cultivate. We visit the Great Lakes in this video by Sajan Lily Quayle of the University of Wisconsin-Madison to explore the immense cultural and ecological significance of Manuman to the Anishinaabe people and how they're carrying forward the legacy of generational stewardship in the face of climate change.
And like part of the harvesting and like that process is constantly holding the respect for that plant.
And the winner of Best Short Video is Farron Tyron from University of Guam for Swimming with Snakes.
The judges said Farron's film stood out for its engaging and inviting hosts, clear storytelling, and empowering message. The story showcased citizen science in a way that made viewers feel like they too could take part. With strong explanations, emotional depth, and a clear focus on solution, this film was both inspiring and educational. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. Oh, excuse me. So, let me pull this up here. So, these are the judged awards. We have 2 awards that we carve out each year to look for particular things. One is the George Washington University Award that goes for an entrance whose submission most clearly demonstrates the storytelling and academic excellence that George Washington University stands for. And President Granberg, would you like to hand this one out?
I'd be delighted. The winner is Paul Leone from GW.
The story is Cutting Through the Fog, the future of lobsters in the warming Gulf of Maine. Team found this multimedia project incorporated stunning pictures, strong journalism, and vibrant sounds, painting a portrait of a way of life under threat, lobster fishing, and bringing into focus the economic impacts of climate change. So, Paul, congratulations.
Congratulations.
And we also have our Spotlight Award, awarded to a student whose story most deeply highlights underserved communities with a focus on the extraordinary people who are innovating, leading, and inventing to address climate change, environmental degradation, and injustice in unhealthy communities. And this year's winner is
Carly Moore from Stanford University for a native farmer growing a native crop, the role of fiber hemp in a more sustainable future.
The Planet Forward team said Carly's story best embodied the spirit of the Spotlight Award, highlighting the work of a family of indigenous farmers who collaborate with researchers at North Carolina State University to cultivate a particular hemp variety that has fibers to make textiles. It's a story about communities working together to innovate for a more sustainable future, joining wisdom and practices to move the planet forward. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Lastly, this year we asked you all, we have a fan favorite, so people vote. So the last one is audience appreciation. We asked people to vote on their favorite story. So this student will also be joining us in the Galapagos, and the winner of this year's fan favorite is?
Sajin Lily Quayle from the University of Wisconsin.
So I want to say that this year's fan favorite was super close. 1,600 people voted, and Sajin got the most votes. So Sajin, congratulations. Congratulations. So this is the point where we're going to stand for a photo in a moment with our amazing winners. You want to come in the middle here?
Join us.
And Amy, I want to, while everybody's gathering, turn to you and thank you and Lindblad again. And maybe you want to offer a word or two about why Lindblad is engaged with us in this project and the George Washington University and all our other schools and people as you are.
Are we taking the photo first?
We're taking the photo while you talk. We're getting in place here.
Okay. So yeah, we are so thrilled to be involved with Planet Forward. Lindblad Expeditions is a company that was founded back when the only way to get to certain remote places like Antarctica and Galapagos, if you were not a scientist, was with the Lindblad family. So our current co-chair of the board, our founder, Sven Lindblad, his father is considered the father of ecotourism, and we love getting people out to see and appreciate the wonders of the world, all with the foundation of responsible exploration, sustainability, and so much of what we heard about today.
All right, thank you. So I'm going to say one more time that this was an excruciating process for our judges. They told us that. They said all of these pieces are amazing and all of these pieces are worthy. They judged by their criteria, and we have our winners here. For all the other finalists, if you are interested in this remarkable opportunity that we have just been offered through the Turner Ranches, you will have first opportunity to apply for that. As I said, find Aaron, find Kim, find me, or go to where? Email editor@planetforward.org, or just come talk to us, as I said.